This episode of Getting the D discusses domestic violence. If you are in need of help, there are resources and services for you. Visit www.thehotline.org to take the first step.
Hey babes, I'm Alexis.
And I'm Lynette.
And this is Getting the D. Episode 22.
It's episode 22.
We got a good one for you today, baby.
Oh my God.
Well, let's fucking go. We have an incredible guest.
I thought we were going to have to do this virtual, and the fact that she is here in person is like sending me.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal. Her name is Courtney Lapresi. And she's
so many things. She's lived so many lives.
So many lives. Fascinating. Powerful. Strong.
Badass woman.
All of it.
Yeah. She's awesome. So we're so excited to chat with her about all of the journeys that she's had. So many. She's accomplished so much. And she's also incredibly sweet. So that's what's coming up. I would like to address the elephant that is in the room with us.
What would that be?
Today. Okay. I may be the only one seeing the elephant. And I do understand that, but I have to address it because
we don't want any suspicions.
No suspicions, and it wouldn't be me if I didn't tell you something absolutely out of pocket once an episode.
Tell me what's going on.
Okay. So I have hereditary dark circles.
Okay.
Forever. Can't get rid of them. Have had like under eye filler done, whatever. It migrates. I've hated it. So I got the PRP treatment where they take your blood, spin it, and like re-inject the plasma. I didn't understand when I arrived to my appointment.
Today.
Quite literally today at noon, that I was going to swell up like I have been stung by an angry swarm of hornets. I didn't know. And so that is why I look like I'm having an allergic reaction. I know my eyes are swollen. There's nothing I can do. We push on. We keep getting the D.
We keep getting the D. There's no days off.
No, there's not. There's nothing I could do about it. And honestly, you guys fucking get us at this point. It's fine.
Other than that, we present to you episode 22 with Courtney Lapresi.
Love it.
Enjoy, ladies.
So this is our beautiful Courtney.
Welcome, Courtney.
Welcome, Courtney.
Thank you.
Welcome to Getting the D.
So Courtney and I know each other because she was a client when I worked at Mac.
Yes.
And she would come in, and when I saw you coming, I was like, hell yes. Not only because I love you so much, but because I had sales to make.
I bought a lot of stuff.
And this girl was like, I
have money to spend.
Everything you just put on my face, just like
put it in a bag.
Rack it up.
Yes.
We love those customers.
No, it was great, but also we bonded so much during that time. So that's how we know each other. But why don't you give us some background on you?
Who is Courtney now, but also the journey?
Okay. Courtney is a former ballerina. Turned stripper, which is how I was buying all of this makeup. And it was one of those things where I knew what kind of customer experiences I liked at my job. So when I went to your job, I didn't want to waste your time, but I wanted your time and I wanted to make it valuable. And I wanted it to be like something that I did that day was, I'd go spend an hour picking out makeup.
Right.
And just the time that I would sit in the chair, and I remember you doing my face, and like I would tell you about my shows and all of the things I was planning on doing. We just formed like this little bond. And
oh my God.
Honest to God, I still have half of the makeup you sold me.
It's so funny. It's probably
so expired.
Very crusty.
Yes. Yes.
I'm picturing the longwear lip liners because I remember you had to have the longwear lip liners.
Had to.
Because you're like flipping and doing all the things.
Yes.
So
Mac lasts a long time.
No,
I probably have a blush for like 5 years now. I shouldn't have, but it's okay.
Floor Power, still got it.
It is good though. That's the thing.
That's why I bought it.
I know.
Listen to how convincing she is.
No, I have.
Oh no, she's the best.
But I genuinely
best in the biz.
I was also like coming into myself as graduating college. I had, for the first time, like this successful job that I was really proud of, but I was a little scared and hesitant to share it with people because I didn't know how it would be accepted.
Sure.
So I would try to like become your friend and then be like, by the way, Mr. Bray.
I was so into it. And I'm naked on stage. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But not like totally naked, but like, yeah, I'm totally naked.
These ones were thrown at me.
Yes. But the thing too, like, I think sometimes, yes, I would come in and pay you with a lot of singles, but then,
Well, I don't care.
right?
Money is money, honey.
Listen,
So you would stroll in to Center City and then stroll into work.
Yes.
I love that.
And I would, and like, it was a time where I was like really creating my identity too.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how to do makeup outside of competitive dance, like
Right.
dance competition circuits in high school,
Yeah.
and then stage makeup. I didn't know how to be like, I didn't know how to do a eyeliner. I
Like
didn't know how to
beauty
do.
makeup.
I didn't know how to do any of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, like
I
a
didn't
little
know
more
how to
demure.
contour.
Right.
She taught me. Yes, exactly.
A little more demure.
Yes,
And then she went missing.
I did.
MIA.
I was like, what? Like just silence. I was like, where is she? It was a
I
long
disappeared
time.
for long enough that people thought I went to rehab or
Oh.
had a kid.
Oh my goodness.
I was gone for like almost 4 months.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember being like, all right,
Like, is she okay?
where is she? Yeah.
Yeah. And when I was away, so if you know, you know. If you don't know, I went away and was on a nationally televised cooking competition. I am the season 5 winner of MasterChef.
Slay.
I was shook to my fucking core when I found that out. When she resurfaced as that, I was like,
Who?
what? Because I didn't know you could cook.
You're not the only one.
And I think,
Yeah.
I think that's like kind of a common thing. So it's probably kind of shocking for a lot of people. But you can, obviously you can really fucking cook if you want, but like,
Yeah.
I watched and you made like rabbit. I was like, what? Like, what the fuck?
No. Okay, so I got into food as a way to make friends,
Okay.
ultimately. Like, I liked it. I liked being able to prepare it and share it with someone, but also I really liked seeing how far backward I could go with it, like how far homemade can I make something. So I think that's another part of what made me really good at it. But yeah, nobody really knew that I could cook, and nobody knew where I went. I didn't tell anybody. It really was a marker for a lot of what came next, including my experience with getting the D.
Yes.
So
Yeah. But with this, like, you wrote a cookbook.
I did.
There was a lot.
Like, girl
you
did it.
did it.
I did do that.
Like,
She did the damn thing.
I did.
No,
came back and worked in kitchens.
Yeah, I did do that. I
Yeah.
worked in kitchens, and I wasn't allowed to say my
Oh
experience.
my God. You're like, just
That's insane. You're like, little do you know.
Truly. So
Little
I'm like
do you
working
know.
in a kitchen in Washington Square Park in like a reputable place, and I'm not allowed to tell anybody how I know what I'm doing, but please just trust me to do all of these
also
things.
like, they're probably watching you like,
How does she know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With no resume.
yeah.
And that's kind of the beginning of my story,
Yeah.
where I met a person who didn't believe that I could do those things. So they began to give me difficult tasks, increasing in difficulty, as a means to like prove myself. And me being competitive and me being a Capricorn that wants to be like the best and be like, oh, well,
I mean, you are the best at
thank you.
everything. She's probably the best stripper ever. Okay.
I'll take that one. That's me.
Like, I would put money down that you're like actually an incredible stripper.
Favorite stripper.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I love that.
Oh,
I have so many stripper questions, but we will get there.
We will get there.
yes. But it turned into like almost a challenge of like seeing how good I actually was at food to try to trip me up, and nobody could really trip me up.
You're like, I've been tripped up, and I actually made it past like so many other
I'm
people.
not afraid of you. I beat the I
Right.
went up against the scariest man in kitchens,
Right.
and I'm not
In
afraid
heels.
In
Let's-
heels.
let's just-
That's
let's bring
right.
that up.
And in designer heels.
I love, okay, can I just say, I love that you wore those heels. She wore like platform 6-inch Louboutins and dresses every single episode.
I love that.
And even when people were sending you death threats and like saying that was stupid and like saying whatever they were saying, you were like, fuck that, standing on business. I will continue wearing this.
Yeah.
Like that didn't like deter you from continuing.
There was
to do that.
there was an opportunity to like when we were doing things I could put flats on. They were always available to me. And I was like, why would I put them on when I can do it and do it in heels? Like at that point, it was more of just like, it was like, fuck you and fuck you in cursive.
Yeah.
Like I'm,
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
right? like, oh, you think you can trip me up? I'm now going to do this in heels.
Who offered the flats?
Like producers
show?
or something.
They were just there. It was one of those things of like, if you need them, they're there.
Oh. Okay. Were they nice to you there? While you were there?
Yeah, everybody was nice to me. It's a competition.
Yeah.
I learned when the show aired what everybody was really saying about me. Like,
Oh, why? Because you like watched the interview things?
Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
there's a lot that happens, and then there's what happens on TV, and what happens on TV is truth.
Well,
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
you know, you're there, and I was just there doing the best that I could, and I have a degree in performance.
Yeah.
I know what an interview is. I know what an audition is. I know that the goal is to make good TV.
Right.
I made them great TV.
Yeah. You stood in your
And
little ballerina pose.
I did.
When,
I got so much
when they
shit
would
for
judge
that. I
you,
got
you
so
were
much
like,
shit for that.
and yes.
It's called third position.
Yeah, I was gonna say which position first, second, third.
position.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was judged in third position and Louboutins at all times.
Yeah.
I
I really wanted Christian Louboutin to notice that, but I don't think he watches cooking shows. Like,
Cooking shows are like my anxiety shows. So I don't know how someone could not be watching them, but I guess I got it.
I can't watch them anymore.
I'm gonna be honest. I never
yeah.
watched one.
That's okay.
I know.
You
I'm
should
sorry,
watch her
It's okay.
season.
but I want to now.
They're all on Hulu. I don't
Great.
Know. They're
I
available
love
to
that.
you.
How triggering are they for you? Like, do you
I
watch-
won't. I like the bear. Won't watch it.
Oh yeah, like Yes Chef
The
and all
bear is
that.
terrifying.
Won't
It's
watch
so
it.
overwhelming though.
Won't watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I have clients at the club now that are just figuring it out because they're like, it's been long enough that they're putting it together, or they've watched all of the catalog of what's available on the internet, and now they're finding it.
Well,
And
because you don't use your name, so it's not like they
No.
could look. Yeah.
my name's close enough though. My stripper name is Coco.
I just found
that was a good
out.
question actually. What is your stripper name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coco the Destroyer.
Coco.
Come on,
it's so-
Coco.
That is so you. It's not even funny.
The Destroyer.
Yes.
Oh my god. Like,
All right.
What would your stripper name be?
That's
Okay, just-
off the cuff. I don't know.
Everyone-
I need a minute for that.
Everyone marinate on
Everyone
it.
take 30 seconds.
Everyone
to
take
think
a
of your stripper
minute.
name.
But back to the kitchen.
We're back in the kitchen.
We're back in the kitchen when she was proving
Right. So
herself.
you're proving yourself. Okay.
10 out of 10 every time.
Someone
to
is
some person.
challenging you regularly.
Yeah, someone's challenging
Yeah.
me regularly, and it got to the point where they had me butcher a case of duck. And if you've ever worked in a kitchen, the proteins are the most expensive thing.
Right.
And because they're the most expensive, you're not going to give them to the novice, because if they mess it up, then it costs a lot of money. So it was like this ultimate test of like, can you handle this? And I did it better than they did. And I,
Hell yeah.
like, to the point where people started coming over to look at it, and they were like, whoa. Like,
Oops.
and I was like, oh, what was that? What was that you said? I won the WWE of food contests. Like, you're trying to like talk crap about it, and I
Right.
just did your job better than you.
Yeah.
That's so
Sorry.
satisfying.
Sorry, not sorry.
But probably
Yeah.
extremely painful to someone like that's ego.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And that is how it turned into something more, where that challenge almost became like this feeling of wanting to impress somebody to gain their approval. And then the approval seeking turned into like a relationship of sorts, which snowballed and snowballed and snowballed until 10 years later, here I am getting the D. So that's the short part of it, but there's a lot more involved.
Yeah.
So you wound up marrying this person.
I did.
Okay. And they are not the person that perhaps you thought they were. Although maybe if you look back in retrospect, like
They were exactly the person that they told me they were.
Yeah.
I chose to not believe them.
I just saw a whole like clip on this about majority of the time women see that like up front and we always choose to a lot of the times choose to not believe it. And it's so fascinating.
Wait, the Sabrina Carpenter song Lie to Girls,
Oh yeah.
where she's like, you don't have to lie to girls, we'll just
We'll
do it
for ourselves.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Like you don't actually, if we like you, we'll just pretend like
Yeah, we
you're not
mistake
who you
butterflies for cardiac arrest.
Yeah,
That's my
like,
favorite line. Yeah.
That's a big thing I learned. Butterflies are not a good indicator. They are not a green flag.
No.
Your nervous system is there to protect you.
are. Right.
When you meet a partner that is suitable for you, you should feel calm. You should feel emotionally regulated.
Right.
If you feel butterflies, that's your body literally telling you like something's wrong here.
Yeah.
It's the alarm system.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really proud of the person I am right now and the work that I did to get where I am. And there are a lot of times where I have to remind myself that I was going to learn this lesson eventually.
Right.
It's a canon event. You have to. And it was either learn it now or learn it later in life. And I feel that because I learned it when I did, now I have even more time to live my life exactly for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
our favorite thing about getting divorced young. How old are you?
I'm 35.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so young.
I'm 32. You're 32
32,
also, right?
yeah.
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 Yeah. So it's like,
How old were you on the show? Like was
25.
okay. Yeah, you said 10 years.
baby.
Yeah.
So
So
you
little.
the show okay, so it was the interim between like the show was premiering when you took this job in the kitchen
Yep.
and you met
Yes.
them, the ex.
Yeah. It happened very quickly.
Yes, and it was like snowball, like you said, almost.
Yes. In my experience, it happened very quickly where we went from dating to then living together to then moving across the country, all within 6 months of the TV show airing.
Right.
It was immediate. Looking back at that, I see that that's very calculated for someone who wants to manipulate you or control your lifestyle, taking them away from their support system and their friends. Unfortunately for me, in my experience, because I received a lot of negativity and hate from viewers being on the show, it was an opportunity for that person to say, it's not safe for you here anymore. We need to leave.
Manipulation.
Yeah.
They saw an opportunity.
which sidebar,
Yes.
it's
Right.
a nationally televised show.
Yeah.
So.
Right, because when I got to Denver and I got a job in a kitchen, the chef in that kitchen was not very pleased with me because I had more notoriety than they did.
The
A
male
lot of ego. Oh,
The male ego is just
punch buggy, no punch back.
really something.
Like what?
It's interesting because I got out of restaurants almost as quickly as I got into them. And it was almost like I showed up to a party that nobody wanted me at, and I was like, I'll just leave. It's way easier for me to just leave.
Yeah.
I was already doing something I was really good at before. I did this for fun.
And probably made way more money at.
Yes.
Right.
There's so much with that. Like, yes, I won a large monetary prize, and the amount of taxes that I had to pay were obscene. And then immediately in this new relationship that was tearing me away from everything that I loved, the money was just hemorrhaging.
Yeah.
Like, by the time I had completed my move to Denver, it was gone.
Wow.
And it was on really silly things. I don't know. You only get like one of those opportunities in a lifetime, right?
Yeah,
Or
if
something,
any.
or some exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And you're never prepared with how to handle it. And
No.
I just remember being like, I want to put it somewhere and never think about it ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was not really an acceptable answer. It was, you should have fun with it, AKA, I want to have fun with it.
Yeah.
AKA, I want X, Y, and Z. And the things that you own are not good enough because you're a child, and the vintage furniture that you love and enjoy is not suitable if you're going to live with me. So you need to buy these things and open these credit cards and purchase
Right.
these things.
Like start our life with all of this
Yes.
money.
And it's presented as this, like, we are going to have a life together and we are going to buy furniture
This
one
is
time
ours
and never.
now.
Right.
Wow.
And that's just the beginning of a really vicious cycle. Because as soon as you give them what they want, they start telling you what they want next. And they dig at you until you get to the point where you can't say no anymore because they're not respecting the boundary and they're treating it like a salesperson. They're trying to make a sale, but what they're after is supply.
Yeah.
So when it gets to the tipping point and you say fine and you give up and it tears down your emotional self, and even further, it starts a cycle all over again of now they want something else.
Yeah.
Because look, I got you to do this. So
Right.
what else can I get you to do?
And when we're referring to them, we're saying like a narcissist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, I refer to them as my abuser, the narcissist. I choose to not give this person any more attention or power. I simply am sharing my story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about you.
Correct.
It got to a point where it was extreme and you were like, I need to get out of this, essentially.
I didn't even want to get out of it because when it becomes so convoluted that you feel that you are the problem. So if you get out of it, it's somehow telling yourself that you've failed.
Yeah. You're so deeply manipulated at that point.
Correct. And
Yeah.
I understand that I'm not perfect. Like,
Yeah. No one is.
and I don't expect to be or want to be. But when you are going through the work to be the better person and you're continually told that you're not, it just tears you down to where you have no more autonomy. Because it doesn't matter what I choose, I'm choosing wrong.
Right.
So you're yelling at me, telling me that I have to choose, but if I don't choose what you want,
Right.
you're just going to continue to yell at me that I'm not choosing right. So why are you even asking me to choose? And that's ultimately what they want.
Well, because they
you-
want it to look. They want you to feel like you have options.
Yes, they want you to feel
So
like
they can
you-
go back and say it and
Well, I
further
offered-
manipulate.
Well,
Yeah.
Because then when you do finally choose and it doesn't go well, then it's, I told you this.
I told you so. Upper hand.
Remember when I said this? And then you have the self-doubt. So then the next time you're presented with the opportunity to choose, you say, I don't want to choose. You just, whatever you
Bow out. Yeah.
And then put time between that and everything gets worse.
Yeah. They have complete control.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what was ultimately like the tipping point where you got to get out, where you wound up getting out of this, even though, you at the time didn't want to?
I like to credit COVID. Something about being in quarantine and not being able to leave the house, the blow-ups happening closer and closer to each other, ultimately got to a point where I was abandoned. And there's so much more to that is not worth revisiting, but ultimately my abuser packed a suitcase and disappeared. And the only reason I knew where they were was because it was showing up on my credit card statements. And when I locked the credit cards for them to not be able to use was the only reason they began to contact me again.
Of course.
Because how dare I? And then it got worse for COVID, where my job shut down, the state shut down. I was running out of money. I was in a ton of debt. I forgive myself for this constantly, but I thought that I could make it work. So I chased after a person. And I forgive her for doing that because she needed to do that in order to get here. When I arrived where they were, and it was that cycle of, it was the pattern of needing to prove myself again, like with the ducks. But it was, I need to know that you're going to behave. I need to know that you're not going to instigate an argument in public. But I was never instigating arguments. I was rightfully angry.
Right.
But it was, you're going to let me completely control you.
But nothing about, completely abandoning you and leaving.
No, because they had to. They had to abandon me because I was so out of control.
Right.
The only thing I was out of control was out of their control.
Right.
Right.
And so after 2 months of living in an Airbnb and proving once again myself to this person, was I even allowed to know where they were living? And my storage unit was delivered to be unpacked into their home. And no less than 2 days after my storage unit was delivered and everything was unpacked into their home, did they ask me to go take the dog for a walk. And when I came back, they had changed the locks.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's when I got the police reports.
Yeah.
That's when I had to have what's called a domestic standby. I had to have a police officer say, it is against state law. This person is legally bound to you. If you're not going to let her in, you have to go through the official eviction process.
Right.
You cannot just change the locks.
No.
And that wasn't suitable for them. And they actually argued with police. And then they called up their parent on the phone and cried because that's what a narcissist does. They won't show you emotion unless it's performative. And that was when I realized
that hits deeply.
Right?
I've never heard someone say that before.
That's when you know that it will.
They don't get their way.
It will never
Yeah.
work. This is what I'm getting back into. No.
Okay. So you had a moment where you were just like, you know what?
I had a moment where I had to take both of my animals and stay in a hotel. And I had to get on a website. It's called The Hotline. It's an emergency website for domestic violence victims where they can talk to a live person that can provide resources for them based on what state they're in and give them what they need, whether it's holding space, talking to someone, while I made a plan.
Okay.
And I hated that moment. I hated those 2 days. I had to leave my cat in the car in the parking lot on pet mode overnight because they wouldn't let me bring the cat in. But I could bring the dog because he's a service animal. It was just this moment of there is no coming back from this. There is no fixing this. The fixing of this is removing the person. You cannot change a person. You can only change yourself. If a person doesn't want to change themselves, it is not your job to do it.
No.
And I was the one that was in multiple forms of therapy. I was the person that was doing the work. And again, with performative empathy and emotion, this person chose to get therapy in the very last months so they can, manipulate their therapist into thinking that I'm the problem. Then when it got nasty, it was, I'm going to have the animals taken away from you because you're not emotionally sound. And it's like,
Wow.
but I actually am doing X, Y, and Z and all of these things to prove that I am taking action and taking care of myself. I have borderline personality disorder. But what I learned about myself was with borderline personality disorder, you have a very deeply rooted fear of abandonment. And so you will hold on as tightly as you can, even to abusive entities, because you don't want to be abandoned.
Right.
And they knew that.
Yeah.
And it was exploited.
So hurtful, like
Wow.
from someone that you like thought really cared about you and really loved you. Like the amount of therapy that you have to do just based on that alone is just like.
It was 2 hours a week for 3-4 years.
I was gonna say it was probably
I
pretty
probably
frequent.
could have bought a degree in psychology with the money I spent on therapy.
Are any like legal restraining orders, like anything like that had to be taken against them or anything like that?
It's really, really hard. So I was living in a state where restraining orders don't exist.
Wow.
That is, I thought they existed everywhere.
No.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That seems crazy.
In the state that I was in, and it's almost like by design, right? This person ran away to the state where they could have a no-fault divorce. They could have no
Convenient.
restraining orders. Very convenient
Yeah,
for them.
totally.
In my experience, the only thing you can get is what's called an order of protection. And when you speak to a lawyer about getting an order of protection, the lawyer will say to you, we take these very seriously. This person could lose their job. This person could this, could that. It can ruin their life. And it's like, well, they're kind of
Good.
ruining my life right now.
Yeah. I need it now.
You're like, yes, and
Yeah. And effectively,
And what are you gonna do for me?
you can only get an order of protection if that person is actively threatening your life. So what do? Call them up and be like, this person is violently hurting me or threatening me. Like, okay, let me come down to your office and fill out paperwork while I'm fearing for my life.
no, yeah. What do you want me to call them and like provoke them? Like,
Yeah.
what
They make it very, very difficult,
That is wild.
but it's by design. Because that way that state doesn't have to say that they have issues. They can be like, no, we don't. Domestic violence isn't a problem where we're from. We don't have any restraining
It doesn't
orders.
exist at all. Yeah.
Wow. You guys can guess for yourselves which state that is.
Yeah.
Problematic state.
No, it always
from
it's
jump.
always a fucking problem.
They're just always
a
acting up.
problem.
They're just not it.
I mean, it's been a problem for me.
yes. It was actually.
No, it is.
No, yeah. No, it really is.
That state can fall right in the ocean
But the thing too is
without you in it.
is with me it was this person put me in so much financial ruin that I couldn't, like, I maxed out my last credit card to pay for my divorce.
Wow.
It was one of those things where it was like I'm literally starting over from zero.
Yeah.
And you had accomplished so much.
Yeah. Like 4 years before, I was awarded $250,000, and 4 years later, I have 6 figures of credit card debt.
Wow.
It happens to so many women, and they don't even know that that's what's happening to them, even years after they're out. I still wake up every day and have like a mini epiphany of, oh,
That was
that's what you were doing.
yeah. Oh my goodness. I feel like women deal with this and it starts small and then it just builds and builds and you're telling yourself they'll change. It's fine. It's just going to be this one time. And then next thing you know, it's 10 years in and you're like, what just happened?
Right.
It's never just one time.
No.
Believe people
When they tell you who
believe
they
them
are.
When they tell you who they
Who
are.
says that? It's so true. But
Yeah.
we've refused because, I mean, it's our own past like trauma as well or passed down generational stuff that we get from.
Because we want to be loved.
We want to be loved. That's at the end of the day. And we just want to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And we just believe the best in people because you're a good person. So you want to believe that they just have the best intentions with your heart.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I said to you the other day, well, something about the benefit of the doubt, and you were like,
Nope.
We don't do that here.
We don't do that.
No bennies of the doubt.
No.
None of
When
that.
someone shows you who they are, that
Yeah.
you believe it.
Giving
need to
someone
believe
the
it.
benefit of the doubt never benefited me.
Yeah.
It's so true. Same.
It's let
Yeah.
their actions tell you, because their words,
Their words are nothing.
they literally mean nothing.
Yeah. I went through a whole stint with that.
Listen to how they speak to other people.
Major.
Listen to how when you're entertaining, how a story that you know very well gets changed when it's being performed for a group.
The performative aspect of narcissism is just like, I know that, but I've never really thought about it, and I've never really heard it
Or identify it in the moment.
like with examples necessarily. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Like even in the moment, you're like, oh, I'm not identifying. Oh, this is narcissism. Like,
Yeah. No.
because you don't want to live life like that. You're like, I just hope you're being real and truthful.
Well, and people will try to argue you too, like, not everybody is a narcissist. And it's, well, how many narcissists are actually going to go to therapy to be diagnosed as a narcissist? That therapist would be the worst therapist in the world.
No,
Yeah.
horrible. I don't like therapy.
The only therapy that would be, so for example, in my experience, as the last bit of leverage that my abuser had to hold over me, because I had begged them before they abandoned me to have therapy with me. And they refused and said, the only way that I will go to therapy with you is if we get a post-nuptial agreement. AKA, I want a contract to keep you closer and suppress you even further before choosing to give you this like dangling carrot. And then I'm going to manipulate the therapist to believe that you're the problem.
Well, yes.
No, sir. No, thank you.
I will say this is so interesting because I did couples therapy, and he like hated her.
Yeah. Because
He
she was
what?
activating the parts of
He
him.
didn't like the therapist.
Yeah.
Would you look at that?
He was like, I feel like I was 2 against 1. I'm like, maybe you're just a dick.
Or what about
I
it?
just keep having a former president flash in my brain. I don't know. It's so crazy. Like, I don't know. I just keep.
Something just feels familiar.
It just
here.
feels like lately. I don't know. Just like in my face.
Yeah.
But it is
feels
one of,
familiar.
it is that you're right. When your ex-partner is getting angry about that, it's because they're being confronted. They're looking in a mirror. It's activating things inside them that they don't want to bring up because it features something within them.
And a third party is validating,
Yes.
like me.
Yes. And how dare they validate you?
Right.
Because that removes their power over
Right.
you.
Right. Totally.
Wow.
Very interesting.
Oh my goodness.
Let's talk about
Well,
stripper stuff.
well, thank you for sharing that. No, let's just say thank you for sharing that.
So let's get naked.
So what's your stripper name? I'm still thinking of mine. Don't ask me.
Okay, so after all of that, as I can imagine, like being in the kitchen, fuck that.
Yeah, I don't want to anymore.
No.
Yeah. So what is Courtney up to today?
We dance, baby,
Yes.
and a lot of other cool stuff.
We are shaking men by the ankles for their lunch money.
Hell yeah. When Lynette first told me about you, I was like, that's so badass.
No, she's
No,
a fucking
literally.
badass.
And then to like create the book, like we can get into the book, like the whole thing. It's just so cool.
Like to go through the therapies, and like you let yourself be down.
I did. I felt my feelings. I hung out at the bottom of my own well. I sat there, and that is totally okay. And I encourage it. Like feel your feelings and feel them thoroughly and deeply. So when they come up again and you recognize them, you can call them by name.
You're like, oh, I know her.
Yeah. Oh, that's Grief. How are you, Grief? I am so happy to see you. I don't have you on my calendar for today.
Yeah.
Here's the door.
Right.
Wow.
Like, thank you for visiting.
But
Like,
it's not this like mysterious thing where you're like, ooh, this is fucking up my day. I don't know
Right.
like what this is.
right. Let's think about it like weather. If you know what to expect with the weather and you say, oh, those are dark clouds, it's likely going to storm. I'm going to choose to prepare myself. I'm going to put my raincoat on, or I'm going to stay inside and work on a separate project. When you can identify what's happening within your own body and mind, you can protect yourself.
I love that.
Right? And then you can be able to weather the storm, no
Right.
matter what it is.
That makes sense.
No, totally.
Yeah.
It's
I like that
something
analogy.
we're not really taught to do, but
No.
it's so effective.
No,
Yeah.
for sure.
You know?
I love
I
that.
have one more question, I guess, before we get into the fun stripper stuff.
Yeah.
We have your cookbook here,
Yes.
and you were taking a little look-see through it earlier. And I can imagine, like, does that bring up a lot for you? Are you moving past it? Are you missing that world? Are you not missing that world? Like, what does that feel like?
I want to
Yeah.
piggyback on that before you answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, like, a similar thing, but also, do you or did you ever hold resentment that you didn't get to embrace that world because it was kind of like twisted and taken.
Yeah.
And you were so turned off to it.
I don't feel like I ever really got into the food world enough to feel like I miss it. It really truly does feel like the once upon a time I did this thing.
Yeah.
Would I have liked to have done more with it? Yeah, of course. But was I well received? No.
Right.
And talking about fear of abandonment, when you're not well received and like people said the meanest, most hurtful things to me.
Yeah.
I remember this.
And it wasn't, and it was almost when they found out that I was a stripper, it made it that it justified.
I think that
to
was
them.
why, though.
Yes.
You were hated for being a
insane.
stripper.
Yes.
It's the perfect segue.
And people like totally
No, it really is.
Yeah.
pitted you against the other woman
Right.
that was at the end and like made her out to be like this perfect stay-at-home mom or whatever. And you were a monster because you were stripping.
But let's look at the facts and let's look at what was actually said, because I never spoke poorly.
You were
about these-
lovely.
I just did well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was almost like I'm going to be meaner to you with my words, but I'm just going to cook better food than you. And
Period.
like, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry your lamb is raw.
Oh,
You're like, I'm just going to keep doing me over here. You can keep hating. But
Like-
like that actually, when people are doing really well, people hate that.
Of course, nobody.
Yeah.
that's how you know you're doing well.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're like,
You have
cool.
haters.
Yeah.
It's I would really like to see a time when successful women are praised for being successful.
Yeah.
It feels very much like the more successful I am, the more people want to watch me fall.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
That is classic.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's, if anything, that's a reflection on them.
Yes,
Oh,
like, what the fuck is wrong with
100%.
you?
Like-
we probably have all experienced that in some
Right?
capacity in our
Yeah.
lives,
Like,
you know?
I'm so sorry that my success activates something within you that hurts you so deeply that you need to hurt me.
Absolutely. I feel like you say this on your Instagram regularly
Yes.
because people
It's
still
all a
attack you.
projection. No.
Daily. Daily.
Yes.
It is a daily. And here's the thing. I will post a video of food and people are like, fuck you, stripper, go back on the pole.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Then I'll post a video of me on the pole and they're like, whatever happened to food?
Yeah.
You're like, can I win?
Do you need
No.
me? What do you need me to do? Sit on the pole while whisking like some heavy cream?
I mean,
and
that's something to be
singing,
wild.
I'm a
That's
little
something
fucking
to be-
teapot.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, honestly, you would go viral.
I was like, that video might do well.
Actually, I have an idea.
What a concept.
the things is, the videos that do well are actually the videos where I'm clapping back.
Oh yeah, I just watched one the other day.
They just go around and around.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't believe that someone would
People
waste
do
their
that.
time doing that.
Just
no
says
picture,
enough.
no followers, but
Gross.
blowing up. Yep.
That needs to be psychologically studied. When people act
Yeah.
like that, that's actually insane.
All right, before we get into stripping, I'm right back.
And now, a word from our sponsors. Truly, like, my body has decided to show up for work recently. It's like my ass is assin and my titties are tittying.
Artinian?
Like-
yeah, hell yeah.
They like
dollar
I
bills love that.
I
Wait,
love
so
it. Everybody loves it.
Do you
It's
think,
amazing.
do
The
you
girls
think that you
love
just
it.
like manifested it? Like the universe was like, here, you want this fucking hot
I
ass
don't
body?
know. I think I just stopped being so stressed out about like somebody else that
Yeah.
my body was able to feel safe.
Perhaps your cortisol levels like regulated.
Finally.
I've been worrying
Yeah.
about that lately. I'm like, oh, you better stop being stressed.
Well, okay, truthfully, when you experience emotional abuse, your brain chemistry does change.
Yeah.
It actively changes, and you have to do all of the work to get it back. So I do think that being in a like emotionally safer environment and feeling better and more in control of my own life has manifested in many ways, with like my body feeling good in my body and
Yeah.
noticing the changes in it too.
Give a little light.
And it feels good. Like my favorite thing to hear is wow. Like when I stop hearing people say wow to me, I know that it will be like, okay, let's hang up the pleasers. I might
Not
need
the
to retire.
pleasers.
I know. But like I am so joyful on stage. Nobody can touch me. It's not that it's not even a competition. It's just when I am on stage, I am my truest self.
I like want to see you now.
No, I do too, actually.
I've never been to a strip club.
And I want
That's
you
a
to
fun
see
fact.
it.
You never have.
Let's
No.
go. Let's just go.
I would love to.
Let's go.
No, I am in awe.
Wait, I think I would be upset. Like, I would love it because I'm
Same.
such a girl's girl. Like,
I'd
I
be
would
like,
be like,
yes. They're like,
all-
who
Wait,
are
okay.
these two psychos?
Wait,
We have a
to
name. We have a name for that type of. We
Oh.
we call you
no.
the Woo Girls.
Oh, good. Good.
Oh no.
We love that.
But we love
Do
it.
we? I don't know. Okay.
As
Are
well, like,
they a safe space for you?
It's like everybody is for me. You know when people say when your vibration is high enough, it knocks out the people who aren't for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's true.
It's so true.
It's so true.
Okay.
The people, like, I can look at the club and I know who's there for me.
Okay.
And it's almost like I don't even register the other people who aren't there for me.
It's just like a soul, like attraction. You're like,
Yeah.
that's.
A lot of it is like eye contact. Who, like, I'm looking, like, I'm performing. When you grow up on a stage, you're taught to perform for the last row in the tallest balcony. So when then you're in a club, everyone's closer to you already.
Yeah.
So you know who's looking at you.
Yeah.
And you know if they're into it.
Yeah.
And I love pulling people out of their chairs. Like, I see you and you are smiling.
Yeah.
Are you stuck? Are you Velcro on your pants? Like, I know you can get up. Like, come here.
All right. I need to see her.
She's already so sexy.
Like,
Oh
what's
my God.
happening?
I talk to them.
I'm turned on.
Oh, goodness.
It's
It's getting
my
hot in here, even though it's
favorite.
freezing in here.
Yeah, right. And I
Um,
mean, I've got lines for that too. Like, it's always cold in a strip club, but it's by design. They want to keep our nipples hard.
Oh, is that true?
Honestly, yes.
Sure.
Wait, I'm just as bad as any man. I'm like,
Wow, fascinating.
wow, that makes so much sense.
No, but honestly, boobs look the best when the nipples are hard.
Yes.
They look
I mean,
great
That's true.
when they're nice and perk.
That's so
Yeah.
fucking funny.
You wrote a book, and tell us about this. In addition to the cookbook already, but like
Yes.
for the strippers.
I wrote a
and-
book for strippers. It's called My Best Stripper Self.
Yes.
And
We have a little
you
copy
can be
here.
my model. Yes. So, and those are my titties. Those ones are mine on the front. Those are mine.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Love that.
Oh my God, they're adorable.
Thank you.
It's because my boobs are so fucking big.
I'm like, did you just call her boobs adorable?
I'm like, this little.
That's what she says
No,
about
they're
mine.
perfect.
She says about mine too. I'm kidding.
Sorry.
So adorable.
I'll take it. I love it.
That's
No,
totally fine.
they're perfect and like small and perky and great.
So I wrote this book based off of my own experience for strippers.
Right.
I wrote it after being in all of that therapy where I started to have a shift in mindset and identifying things that worked for me. And they all became applicable to the club.
Right.
And it was as simple as, like, when I know what works, I can present that to everybody.
Right.
And they can either choose to take it or leave it. And I learned these skills to not take it personally and not let it ruin my night and not let my emotions control the experience, to just let the experience be.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things I learned in therapy was when you identify a pattern, you have the power to change it. And how do you identify a pattern? By tracking them. So I created this book based on the idea of tracking certain patterns in the club. The most basic, tracking how much money you earn and how much money you spend, your expenses. And then a little bit deeper, tracking the compliments that you hear each night. What am I hearing the most often?
Ooh.
What does that tell me about
This is
myself?
fun. I love this. It's like
Right?
a workbook. I
No,
love
we-
a workbook.
Lynette loves a workbook. No, it's true.
I love a list. I
she's-
love a workbook.
She's going to love this one. And
My best stripper self.
She's like, how can I
Before
relate
you
this
know
to
it.
nursing?
No, I will though.
But we're all working with customers if you think about it. I mean, it's a patient, but in a sense, you're working with people.
you're providing a service.
Exactly.
You're providing
Exactly.
value.
Yes.
And you need to earn their trust. I need my client to trust me. I need to earn their trust before I ask them to spend $2,000 for an hour of my time.
Oh my God. Courtney, I'm in the wrong business.
I really have to just
That's incredible.
congratulate you for like bringing to the forefront that this is a business and this is a career. And I think society in general, I can feel that this is maybe temporary. Like, you know, somebody dances for a year or two, or they don't, or
They're
they
down
fran
on their
upon
luck,
them.
so they
or-
start dancing.
Yeah, like
that's
even if I say the word
okay.
dancer instead of stripper, like people will giggle,
Right.
and I'm like, that's like, no, that's their profession. Like, what's wrong with that? But-
And it's one of those things where as it becomes less stigmatized,
Right.
we are now introducing the term sex worker because then it's an umbrella term. Just like you'd say, I work in the hospitality industry.
Okay.
What part of it? You don't really know, but you know
Okay.
it's right. So
Yeah.
so then it's almost like creating this umbrella of I'm in this industry and it's not like it's up to the person to share what part of the industry they're in.
Interesting.
Right.
Right? And my job is to facilitate an experience
Yeah.
and a fantasy. And sometimes that fantasy is just having somebody who actively listens.
Wow.
Sometimes that fantasy is much more different. When you show up as your best self, the energy that you're putting out there is picked up by the people who show up. And
It's
then,
an exchange.
So-
Yeah.
right? And if
It's
they're there for
yeah.
you, you're there for them.
Yeah. And again, we can relate this to all of our careers.
Yeah, no, it is
In different
so
ways.
true.
I just like the awareness you're bringing
Thank
to
you.
Yeah, I think
like
it's
your
really
industry,
cool.
and
Thank
that,
you.
that's really powerful. If I'm going to be honest.
I'm
Yeah.
proud of that too.
Yeah.
I'm proud of removing that like
Taboo stigma when all we
Exactly.
run off of is sex in this country.
For real.
And like,
Oh,
you know, just
literally.
all of that. There's so many and
and it's interesting too how like we really forget that at the very bottom of sex it's emotional connection.
it's a physical exchange. Yeah. It's like a really
Right?
deep physical exchange.
And you can have these intimate conversations with someone that aren't like sex in this like black and white form of what we would expect on the extreme level of it, but it can be like the intimacy of just holding space for a person in a crowded room and making them feel that it's just you and them.
Wow.
And
yeah.
that's of value too.
Absolutely.
totally.
No, because it's not something that you experience
Yeah.
often, or it's not often that you find another person that understands that and can do that with you.
And you're a third party that like they don't know you, you don't know them from anyone.
Right.
And that's the cool thing too.
Yeah.
Same thing with my career. Not to keep comparing, but I feel
No,
like
no, I love the
but you're kinda-
comparisons.
it is.
I
It's
love
service.
the comparisons
Yeah.
because the more that we talk about it and the more that we relate the
The less taboo, the less
exactly
Like
Crazy.
it's not
It
it's
normalizes
not that
it.
different.
No, it's really not.
It's not.
cutting someone's hair
Like when
is
you look at it through that lens.
incredibly intimate.
Yeah, I like everything around me disappears. Like everyone's like, "Oh, did you just see that crazy guy walking?" I'm like, "No, I am locked in right now."
Think about the times that you've like how much power do we put into our hair?
Yeah.
Think about someone
Yeah.
who sits in your chair and says, "Cut it all off."
Oh my gosh.
And
yeah.
you're like, "Whoa, girl,
What's going on?
Something's
Tell
happened."
me what's up. Yeah,
And you
for sure.
whip that cape around them and you're like, "Tell me everything." Right? I'm going to give you the best scalp massage of your life in that shampoo. And,
Right.
Like
Yeah,
it
it's an
turns-
intimate, honestly, exchange. Yeah, in a different way.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
an experience. Yeah. It's
Yes.
like it's beyond the service. It's the experience.
Same thing when you were doing my makeup.
Yeah.
When I was in your chair, I'm sitting there with my eyes closed, but I know that you are holding space for me.
And
I
trust.
am, and I'm yapping away, and
you're
we're having a
talking-
great time.
Right. And other
Yeah,
people
then.
might come up and you're like, I will be right back. Like you're still holding the space for me.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I created this book with the intentions of whether you are in this industry for a year or 10 years or 15 years, that you only get better. You
Yeah.
know what you're doing to begin with. This is how you become your best version of it.
I think that's awesome too, because you really like spell out all of the different aspects of being a stripper, because it's kind of like, I don't know, obviously I've never even been in a strip club, but I can imagine being like, how do I get better at this? Like, I'm dancing naked. What else do you want from me?
Yes.
You know, and so it's kind of cool to spell out that no, there is like a thought process to this, and it is deeper than that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's as simple as, well, what worked last time?
Yeah.
What was it about that worked? And how do I repeat that?
And there's a little additional book, right? We have a...
Yeah. So let's talk about this. So I'm gonna tell you right now, this is the thing that gets me. I don't know what it is. If it's a spiral bound,
It's a spiral bound
it's because
release.
it's a planner. That's
Yep.
why. Mm-hmm.
It sends you to the moon.
So, okay, so this is
this.
is my LLC.
Let me see.
And it's
It's
an acronym. It goes both ways. One is We Love Sex Workers. The other is
That's what I thought it was.
the other is Whatever She Wants.
Yay! Oh, we love.
hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is the tracker. This
I
is
love this.
you read the book to learn the principles of the ideas, and then this is where you actually write down. Like it says, like how many dances did I sell? How many VIPs did I sell? And I remembered to do this, or
Oh my God!
I
wait.
need this for everyday life.
No,
like,
I'm
kind of.
obsessed with this. Girls.
and the pages are the color of money.
Oh, of
Oh,
course
that
they
makes
are.
sense.
Oh my God!
That
Wait,
makes
I
sense.
love it. Okay. When was the pop? What does that mean?
When was the pop? When was it the busiest?
Okay.
Oh,
Like, when
see,
did it-
lingo.
Oh God! All these
Lingo.
things I know
When
now.
did it
Okay.
pop off?
How time in the dressing room?
Right? Okay, so
Is that where like the girls go if they're like not having it? It's a break room.
it's the dressing room. You get
Yeah.
ready in there. You can hide in there. But here's the thing: if you're tracking how much money you're earning hourly, and then you are also tracking that, oh, I spent 3 hours in the dressing room this week,
Oh, in a week.
Well,
Okay.
right? Or
Yeah.
in a night. What if you showed up for a 6-hour shift and you spent half of that time in the dressing room, and you realized that you made $100 an hour? You just cost yourself $300
Right.
in the dressing room.
Yeah, when you start to break it down like that as like a business,
yes,
you really it opens your eyes.
you're creating. So, and then there's charts. Here's your money.
Oh, this is
Oh, not the
Lynette's
charts. Oh,
dream.
I love this.
This is a wet dream for Lynette.
Well, I'm gonna use this. How
She's
much
like,
time?
I'm not a
how much
I'm not a
time-
stripper, but I'm gonna track it.
Honestly, every industry should have something like this.
honestly,
Like really.
I'm so into
Any
this.
service industry.
Where did my money come from? Okay. So dances are like lap dances, like personal dances that you do like there on the floor.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what's a VIP? That's a room.
Yes, but some clubs have dances in rooms. So there's like a $25 room, a $500 room, right?
Okay,
So
yeah.
if you're in like the $25 room, you might be sitting this close to another person, and maybe your customer doesn't want to be rubbing elbows with another customer, so they're going to spend more to have you to themselves.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay. $25 room or $500 room? What's your
I mean,
what would you prefer? Would you rather make like quick, because I would imagine the $25 room is faster.
So this is where things get really exciting.
Like
because-
quantity versus quality
Yes.
is my question.
work smarter, not harder.
But hear me out.
I'm wondering.
Right. Okay.
What if you give a $25 dance and they choose to pay you $100 for it because that's how good they felt that it was?
Oh, I didn't know this. That makes sense.
It's tips.
It's an option.
It's
we never
whatever
know.
It is literally
could get
whatever
more.
you want it to be.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you might sell them a $25 dance, but you might stay in that room for 30 minutes and rack up a really big bill, or
Ooh, you can keep them. Okay. All right. See, I have so many questions. How long is a $25 dance?
one song. But also let's
It goes by
Oh,
songs.
3
yeah,
minutes. Well,
but
okay.
also like let's
This
talk
is how
like
much like have no idea.
I
One
love
song.
it.
Neither do I. I'm
One
learning.
song. I thought it was like a minute.
everybody's different though. So like
So for you.
so prices are you don't like go to the strip club and there's a menu. I'll take the $25 dance.
Oh.
You find the entertainer you like, and it's kind of up to you to ask them how much a private dance is because
Oh
everybody's
my
Oh.
God.
different.
The balls it takes. I think I would need a menu.
right?
Give me the menu and a touch screen. I don't want to have to.
You want to
I don't
like
5%
enter.
tip?
They're not like that now because at this rate in the world, I'm shocked
I don't
that
want
there's
to
no
talk
touchscreens
to
in the strip
anyone. I
club.
just like want you to appear.
So
Hello.
but people,
Enter.
part of my job is to figure out how you want to spend your money.
Oh right, that's where you come in.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you both came to
This
my
makes so
club
much sense.
and you were, I can imagine you both coming right up to the stage and you're like holding your singles and you're just like,
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, like
I would
biggest
see you
fans.
both, and I would probably approach you and I'd be like, do you want to see some pole tricks?
Yes,
Yes, I
that's
do.
exactly what I'm here for.
And I'd be like,
So much.
okay.
Please.
Wait, it's
and
so
then
funny
teach me
that
later.
you know that's what girls want.
Yes.
We're amazed.
Well, there's like pole dancing classes. Like,
I want to do it
should do
so bad. Okay, we'll get there.
So you said, yes, I want you to do pole tricks. And I would
I
say,
really do.
if I do a bunch of pole tricks, will you throw the money like it's confetti? I want to feel like I'm in my
I
own
would love
snowball.
nothing more.
yes.
Okay?
I would go get you more money if
You're
you
getting
asked
us
me
very
that.
You don't
excited.
even have to move. All of the men in suits are carrying singles on them. And I'd call one over and they would bring them
brilliant.
to you because I'm providing an experience.
Wow, this is
So
incredible.
you don't even
I'm
have to leave
experiencing
your,
it like
Okay.
now.
right? You don't even have to leave your chair. And I'm gonna go do a couple of pole tricks. Nothing crazy yet. I'm gonna go upside down and take both my feet off the ground because
That's
I know
enough.
you'll like
I'm
that.
excited.
And then I'm gonna crawl back up to you and be like, "Did I do it right?"
Okay.
And
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, "Yes, Coco, you
That's
did it
exactly
right."
what I wanted.
You sure did.
I would be squealing.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I would,
Okay.
right?
we love a step-by-step, like,
All right.
kind of tutorial.
So then,
Yeah.
say like my stage set is over,
Oh,
right?
Sad.
Oh,
no, no.
But I
know.
come back around and I find you and I say, "Thank you so much. That was so much fun. I had so much
Uh-huh.
fun with you on stage. Thank you for loving on me."
Uh-huh.
And at that point, you're probably like, "I don't want to see any other girls. When do you go back on stage? I want to hang out with you."
You are it for me.
Right? So that's how I know you're here for me. I'm here for you. So I'm going to let you know when I go back on stage. When you hear the DJ say my name, you'll know that's for me. Right?
Yeah.
And then when it's my turn to go back up, I'll probably come by and like touch your shoulder and be like, "I'm going back on stage. Do you need anything?" And you'll be like, "Yes, we
It's
do."
so smart.
Planting the seeds.
No, it's so smart.
We love that.
And then when I think about it like this, I'm like,
Should I strip?
I'm being I'm being played, but I'm loving it.
But I love it.
But that's what it's the experience that you want.
But it's also giving you, like, I mean, it is your job,
Right.
But it is still like
Yeah.
like
An exchange.
an exchange.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily, because you're not being played in that aspect. If I was playing you, it would be something where it's not unheard of where if you had a stack of singles and somebody accidentally knocked them onto their stage, right?
Oh, yeah.
That
Tricks. Okay.
that happens sometimes.
Does
Okay.
that belong to you then? Once it hits the stage?
Yeah.
Oh, facts.
So like,
okay.
but
Wow.
you
Like facts.
know that like
Good to know.
that's something that I might do if the person disrespects me.
Oh.
Oh, you tried to touch me in a place I didn't like.
This is
Whoopsies.
fascinating.
That just cost you $50. Wow. That was a very expensive choice you just made.
Ooh. See,
They are business women.
She's the only one for it.
Business women. Okay.
I love this.
Yes, this is great.
This is fascinating.
a lot of good insight.
Oh my God. Wow.
To the club.
Okay.
Who would have thought we were dating?
Okay. What's your favorite song to dance to?
Oh yeah. Do you have a
Right now?
Right
Yeah. Right now.
Paris Hilton dropped a new album.
What? I did not know that.
It's called Bad Bitch Academy.
Stop it.
We're gonna dance to it right now
Why
afterward. Okay.
did I not know that?
Because it only happened last week.
Okay.
And I begged
She's
my
been
DJ.
showing up at a lot of places, so I was wondering why. I was like, is she just having a resurgence of Stars Are Blind, or like what's
Oh my God,
happening?
Stars Are Born.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I begged my DJ.
Talk about
like,
businesswoman.
truly. I was like, please,
Yeah.
I need to dance to this song. I need to dance to this song. It's a song about going to the club and how
okay.
to do it right. And it's just, you have to dance. You can't hear it and not dance.
Okay.
So that's my song for right now. But for the history of my career, Lady Gaga.
Okay.
Gaga. Yes,
Yeah.
we love her.
I live for the
Queen.
applause.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You know what's so interesting? I don't know why in my head I was like, it has to be like hip hop. I don't know why.
Oh, I can
that's
get
where I went
I can get
to.
down with it. Like
I think that would be my preference. Would be hip hop.
if you want to hear more about Coco the Destroyer,
Yeah.
she wants
Always.
to be beaten with money, like cash. Like
Yeah.
break that blue band on my booty.
Wow.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. I love all of it. It's all fun. And the way they're telling you what they want in their experience based on how they tip you too.
Okay.
You
Wow,
know?
this is so layered. I mean, you've been doing it for a long time, so you like
Yeah.
really know.
How long have you been in the industry?
This is my 15th year being
Wow.
a stripper.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes.
A career
this.
girl.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Career dancer.
it's interesting because like I like to tell my clients, like, the only thing I wasn't born with are my tattoos. Like,
I mean, true though.
I'm just doing it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I might have like a couple gray hairs, but like,
No, I
it's
love
it's
that.
exciting.
Yeah.
Because it also destigmatizes different beauty standards too. Like, do I want to change things sometimes? Yeah. Am I scared? Absolutely. But I also have a lot of fun just being like, all right, let's just see what I can do with this. And
Well, and it's beautiful, and it's also actually probably pretty unique in clubs.
I would say so too.
Like, how
Yeah.
many natural boobs are there in clubs typically?
Correct. I would
Probably
say
not like a ton.
not a ton, but the thing is too, like, all bodies are beautiful, and the more you
absolutely.
see of them, the more you're like, oh, I like this. I haven't seen that before. I haven't seen this before. And you're destigmatizing these beauty standards on so many different levels, not just from dyeing your hair or any like altercations, but like, this girl doesn't shave her legs.
Oh, are there strippers that?
Yeah. And you're
Okay.
like, I remember I went to New Orleans and I saw a girl who didn't shave anything, and she was on stage, and I was like, wow, I've never seen this before. I was like, and she looked so hot, and she was making money, and
No, because it's like cool. It's like a different experience. You're like, oh. Yeah, fascinating. It's such, I'm so unfamiliar with it. You're like, now I need to.
But yeah, I remember how it felt, and I remembered how, like, I was like almost mad that more people weren't like getting excited about it. I was like, do you not see me?
Yeah.
I am not wearing a shirt.
Right.
And-
I am naked up here.
Right? But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but you're the 50th girl in the past hour that's been naked up there.
Right.
And you're like, oh, okay. So that's when I tell people how, like, the nudity is like the last.
You really don't even think about it anymore.
No.
Like, you're just like, yep, here I am.
not
me.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
That's your uniform.
truly.
It is.
Such a great way to say
Yeah, are
it.
you just so comfortable naked
I'm very comfortable naked at work.
at work? I love that. That is the last fucking place I want to be naked.
I can have a full-blown serious business conversation with my manager completely naked.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with that. No, I love that.
No, that's amazing.
Okay.
I can advocate for my needs while naked. Yeah.
That's probably the best
love
way to
that.
do it, to be honest.
Yep.
Okay.
But then in daytime off-duty self, I like to be not very conservative, but when you start to own your value, you don't want to give anything to anybody for anything.
Speaking of,
Exactly.
are we dating?
No.
Okay.
Does anybody deserve me? I think not.
Listen, and that
Well,
is
just like
true.
that, just working in the industry you're working, and then everything you've been through, it's just,
I don't.
I can imagine you're like, I'm good actually
Yeah.
for a
I'm
bit.
so good. I'm
All set. Yeah.
I don't want to date at all. I don't want to even imagine that. My ideal relationship is one that has a lot of space.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want titles. I don't want, like, it's really a turnoff for me. I can be very, like, open and giving and intimate with a person emotionally without needing to feel that there has to be like a
like
title,
a belonging
connection,
to
belonging.
another.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not for me. And plus, I'm having so much fun.
Right.
With
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, you're like, I'm good.
I'm having so much fun. I'm doing all of the work. I'm giving little me everything she's ever wanted.
Oh,
Everything
I love
she's
that
ever
so
wanted.
much. Yes.
And I know that future me is like, girl, you just wait. There's so much more coming.
Oh,
Absolutely,
yeah.
100%.
You
Which is,
know?
like, I often think, like,
Wow.
that's why we have to go through experiences that do totally break you because you realize the work that you needed to do to, like, grow into this, like, incredible person for yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're doing the damn thing.
You are. So proud of you.
Thank you.
So fucking proud of you.
Yeah.
We Oh my God.
Thank you for like sharing everything too.
Yes.
And just being so
truly,
open. And
truly.
This
This
has
is like
been
a
fun.
hard
I feel like
thing.
we're just hanging out.
We
No,
can
I know. I could do this like forever.
I'm so down for it.
Do it at the club
Talk
next.
about this forever.
Oh, wait. This was my question. How often do people from the club want to date you or take you out or have sex with you?
Like all the time?
How often do you get sex offers?
Like all the time.
Yeah.
And it's one
Yeah.
of those things where it's funny because I don't blame anybody for that. I'm not offended by it. And
No.
and
Another- yeah.
I am in full support of decriminalizing full service sex work because I think that women should be able to do whatever they want with their bodies.
Honestly, what's even the fucking problem?
I know. They just want to control us.
What is the problem?
I know. But
I know.
I know.
I
That's a whole nother subject.
love I
Part
love when
two.
they beg. I really love when they beg. Like I had
You really would. Coco the Destroyer, it makes so much sense.
what do you destroy? Whatever you love the most.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you destroy?
Uh-huh.
Whatever
Yeah.
you want me to.
Okay.
Like-
Love that.
That will make you a lot of money, though.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's fun.
Those vibes,
But
yeah.
you have to find the person who wants that, right? But for me,
Yeah.
when people ask those questions, I know that they're just trying to shoot their shot. And you don't want to be like offended or say absolutely not because then it ruins the experience and the fantasy.
Ooh,
Yeah.
How do you tiptoe that?
Oh, I give them a laundry list of what would be required for them to get that. And by the time I finish the laundry list, they're like, never mind.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you want to fuck me? Okay, well, I'm going to need you to go to the doctor's office. I'm going to clear STI panel. Then I'm going to
Facts.
need you to sign an NDA. Then I'm going to need you to sign a model release and a permission slip so I can videotape it so I can therefore monetize it. Oh, you don't want to be on camera on OnlyFans?
Right.
Sorry, you don't get anything then.
Has anyone ever agreed to that?
They're like, yes.
There has been somebody who was like, done. I will do it. And I'm like, okay, then it's next level. I need 3 references.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, okay. They're
Yeah.
like begging.
That's beautiful.
And
It's fun.
because one time somebody might say yes, and then I get to either, they can call my bluff, or I can be like, all right, well, if you're gonna do all those things, like, okay, right now I'm on this kick where people who want to take me out, this is what I'm working for. This is because it's part of my fantasy too, right?
No, I'm
So-
loving it.
Yeah.
right now-
No, this is for you.
When somebody says, what do I got to do to take you out? I say, you want to take me out? I'm going to need you to get $3,000 cash, and we're going to go to Costco.
Ooh.
And you're going to buy me a gold coin.
Do they have that?
Yes, they sell gold coins at Costco.
For
What?
$3,000?
Yes, they're
Fucking
somewhere
insane.
between $2,500 and
What's
$2,700.
wrong with Costco?
Oh my God. No.
What's going on in Costco?
Yeah.
guys?
Buy gold. It's gold.
What did we just talk about? The
Costco
gold
is
bars.
so
Did we
weird.
just talk about the gold bars?
Very high value.
Very high value.
So
Buy the gold
I tell
at
them
Costco.
I'm a
Insane.
very cheap date. You're going to buy the gold coin,
So random.
and then we're gonna have the $1.50 hot dog special,
Okay.
and you get to have the free refill. And I'll see you next time.
And that's
when
the
you're
date?
Ready. That's the date.
Okay.
We sit in the cafeteria of Costco, and I have my gold coin, and
Wait.
we sip on a Coca-Cola and eat a hot dog.
If someone does this,
I will tell everybody.
Have to
I
know.
will tell everybody.
Please vlog it.
I will.
I need to know. Right, just send me a picture of the coin. I'll know.
For
know
a
what's
long
happening.
time, I was trying to get somebody to give me. I wanted a Happy Meal with $1,000 in it.
Okay, that is not a.
It's not a
For
big
big
ask.
ask.
It's really
Really
not.
not. I don't need a Gucci bag. I just want $1,000
Honestly, I don't
cash.
With a Happy Meal.
I don't want the bag.
No.
I don't
Okay.
want the things. I want the capital. I want the liquid cash.
Mm-hmm.
I want the assets.
This is a Capricorn.
Yes. Happy Meals, gold coins, alligator purses.
Feel free to send in.
Yes. Cash App Coco Rhino. Like the animal.
Ooh.
Ooh. Shout out Coco.
All right, Boo.
We love you, Coco.
This was absolutely amazing.
This
Thank
is
you
amazing.
so much.
Thank you so much.
This really.
Courtney and Coco.
Yes, both Courtney
Both.
and Coco and Mario, who's napping so lovely on the.
He's so snug.
All right, well, that's it this week.
Thank you, ladies.
We love and appreciate Courtney so much. We will see you next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Down below.
Have a great week. Bye.